Hello guys and welcome! Today we'll be combing through the love life of Khloe Kardashian. In this episode, we'll be investigating the Lamar Odom Kim Kardashian love fiasco and why one commenter would call Khloe a ride-or-die chick. Is there a K in the Kardashian family that stands for kindness? And has Khloe's heart been unlocked again? For this and more, please like, subscribe, and share this video. And without further ado, lick your lips, let's dig in. Khloe Kardashian, the makings of a scorned woman. Media personality, socialite, model, entrepreneur, the $50 million Khloe Kardashian is the youngest female offspring of the Robert Kardashian-Kris Jenner bloodline and a member of a household that practically invented being famous for being famous. You don't get to make a powerhouse household a la the Kardashians without cunning and wits. According to the Peterson Whitthorne and Madeline Berg, white lies, omissions, and outright fabrications are to be expected from the family that perfected, then monetized, the concept of famous for being famous. Then what's this we hear about a kind heart? Well, for that, we'll need to go back in time to even before Khloe met Lamar. Khloe's life has not been easy. It's been rich, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's been easy. She's the daughter of Robert Kardashian and Kris Jenner, but even that has been disputed. Wild rumors of unbased conjecture have circulated regarding Khloe's paternity. So much so that the 37-year-old consented to take a paternity test that seemingly proved that her birth father was indeed Robert Kardashian. Who did observers suspect of being the real father? Kris Jenner's hairdresser, Alex Roldan, who fans thought bore a striking resemblance to Khloe. This brings us to Kris Jenner and her infidelity to Robert Kardashian. The best rumors have some basis in truth, and Kris Jenner's affair while married to Robert gives the fabricated paternity claims some substance. Kris Jenner has been candid about her affair. In fashion designer Diane von Furstenberg's podcast, In Charge with DVF, she revealed her unfaithfulness to Robert was her biggest regret. I got married when I was very, very young. I met Robert when I was 18 years old, she explains. We dated for 4 years, got married at 22. Sooner or later during my life, when I was in my 30s, I had an affair. And my biggest regret was the fact that it broke up my family. In her memoir, Kris Jenner and All Things Kardashian, more about Khloe's past is revealed, like how she dropped out of high school and took to raise her siblings, Kendall and Kylie. Kris Jenner, in her memoir, reveals she was happy about it. Why? Because it freed her up to have her own life. Fans were not too pleased about this revelation, since it suggests that Khloe lost her teenage years playing mother, while Kris Jenner pursued a social life. It was selfish and callous, something the mother and homemaker has been constantly accused of over the years, a kind of cruel narcissism that twisted the psyche of the Kardashian offspring. According to Khloe, life in school had been tough. She was always being compared to her sisters. She had spoken about not feeling safe and feeling like the fat, ugly sister, especially because kids and teachers would question how she could be related to them when she looked so different. They may have already graduated when I got to school, but I remember that teachers would always exclaim, "You're their sister?" I didn't have my own identity, and I was compared to them. And so Khloe would grow up in the backdrop of teenage insecurity and feelings of inferiority to her prettier, more popular sisters, while also caring and nurturing for the younger Kendall and Kylie. She was the sister in the background, a theme that would continue into her adult years. In 2007, the infamous Kim Kardashian-Ray J sex tape would be leaked, giving rise to the Kardashian family's popularity. That event saw the launch of their uber-popular reality show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. During 2021's Keeping Up with the Kardashians reunion special, Khloe revealed that she was made to feel lesser than her sisters. It was apparent that the focus would be on her two sisters while she would blend into the background, like wallpaper. She would receive fewer outfits than her sisters, and this is what the show's stylists would give as the reason for it. I was told by so many different stylists. I was given about 2 or 3 pieces of clothing, that's it, and not to worry because I'll be in the background anyway. Like I wouldn't be in the forefront. The Lamar Odom and Khloe Kardashian marriage. Khloe married basketball player Lamar Odom on September 27, 2009, after dating for 1 month. Theirs was a whirlwind romance, culminating in an $850,000 12.5-carat ring on Khloe's finger. A tumultuous 4-year marriage featuring deception, drug abuse, and mental instability would follow. Things were looking up at first. Khloe could be found sitting courtside at the Lakers games. Odom was playing well and went on to win the NBA Finals with the LA Lakers. On April 10, 2011, the first episode of Khloe and Lamar aired on E! Later that year, Lamar was traded to the Dallas Mavericks, but he was soon dropped in 2012. He struggled tremendously at Dallas, playing so poorly and posting career-low statistics that the crowds jeered and booed him. He was out of shape and seemed directionless. It didn't help that he'd lost a cousin to gun violence around that time, someone he'd called one of my favorite people in the world. Khloe and Lamar aired its final season in May 2012 as Khloe revealed her issues with infertility. Lamar spends 3 weeks in rehab for crack cocaine addiction. At this time, he's playing for the LA Clippers. Now it's early 2013, and Lamar's drug use has not subsided. He's using more than ever. On August 30th, he's arrested on a DUI charge after going missing for 3 days. His loved ones and the Kardashians are afraid for him because they think he's on a cocaine-fueled drug binge. By that time, Lamar had been in the clutches of drug addiction that spanned 2 years, and things were not getting better for him or Khloe. Reports streamed in that their marriage was on the rocks, and the two women came forward claiming that Lamar was involved with them. One of them, Polina Politsky, a lawyer in California, claimed she had a 6-week affair with Lamar at the Roosevelt. The other was Jennifer Richardson, an LA entrepreneur who claimed to have been with Lamar for a year. Jennifer said Khloe had known about the affair and had tried to intimidate her by having private investigators follow her around. She believed that Khloe was paranoid about Lamar's affairs and had him followed as well. They had private investigators following me for weeks. I was very, very intimidated and scared, she told In Touch, adding that she believed Khloe had Odom followed as well. She's constantly looking for Lamar and trying to find out where he is, calling him, calling his assistant. Lamar would just hit ignore, Richardson explained to the magazine. A TMZ video showing Lamar slurring his words and acting oddly while rapping about cheating did not help matters. Both women claim that Khloe knew of the affairs, but Khloe chose not to comment publicly about them. Finally, on December 13, 2013, Khloe decided it was time to move on and filed for divorce. In July 2014, she came clean about her knowing about Lamar's affairs on an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. She opened up about the pain Lamar put her through, going so far as to cheat on her during her 29th birthday. In September 2014, Khloe broke up with rapper French Montana after a few months of dating. In November that same year, Khloe showed she was still sore about Lamar by posting on Instagram, "Like time suspended, a wound unmended, you and I. We had no ending, said no goodbye. For all my life, I'll wonder why." The K is for kindness. On October 13, 2013, Lamar Odom was rushed to a hospital after being found unconscious in a Nevada brothel. Khloe Kardashian immediately came to his side and remained by his side. Despite the divorce papers having been signed, they still had not yet been processed. Khloe chose to withdraw the papers and remain married to Lamar. She took care of him, making medical decisions for him and keeping him company. Lamar has shown that he knows and feels deeply about what he put her through, and yet she chose to stick by him in his moment of need. On October 22, 2013, Lamar underwent 2 surgeries, according to reports. Khloe was the only one permitted to see him. In May 2016, Khloe filed for divorce again, finalizing it in December 2016. Cold as balls with Kevin Hart. In an August 2018 talk with Kevin Hart, Lamar was asked whether he was entirely over his addiction, and he replied that he was clean and doing great. He acknowledged that his addiction nearly killed him. He'd suffered 12 strokes and 6 heart attacks when he was in a coma in 2013. He was grateful for Khloe, saying that she had been there big for him. Present day. Lamar loves Khloe, and it's not a big stretch to imagine that she does. However, they're not together. Lamar is a celebrity big brother moaning about being in love with Khloe, while she's embroiled with yet another love fiasco with basketball player Tristan Thompson. Tristan and Khloe have a child named True, conceived in 2018. Khloé seems to be repeating the same pattern of being the scorned woman. To begin with, she started dating Tristan while he was expecting a baby from another woman, Jordan Craig. Many fans saw that as a mistake that would only lead to heartbreak. And they were right. Tristan was spotted cheating on Khloé in broad daylight when she was just days away from giving birth to True. Are Lamar and Khloé getting back together? Lamar Odom is gushing over Khloé Kardashian in Celebrity Big Brother. He made clear his intentions that he wants her. So far, he's even beefed with Tristan Thompson over the internet. Recently, Lamar has had this to say: "I had a beautiful wife. When I married Khloé, there was just so many things that I did wrong when it came to our relationship, that if I could take back, of course I would take back. It was never my intention to hurt her, but my mind and my head wasn't in the right place. I wasn't taking care of myself." As for now, Lamar has vowed to reconnect with Khloé after he's done with Celebrity Big Brother. To find out how well that goes for him, be sure to like, subscribe, and click on that notification bell so you'll never be without the latest in celebrity news. Ciao!